Hi there, it's Chris from Rat Race Rebellion. Welcome to our YouTube channel. I have a crazy scammer story for you today. So yesterday I engaged in a Signal conversation with a scammer who was pretending to hire me for a remote job with a big company. And during the course of our conversation, this guy tried to get access to my ID.me account. That's like this thing that verifies who you are. Even the IRS uses it. He tried to get access to my IRS account by getting me to assign a PIN to him so that he could get access to my account. He tried to get my username and password for my bank account and just wouldn't take no for an answer and kept coming up with, he literally played every game in the scammer's handbook to try to get access to my personal information so he could steal my identity or sell it on the dark web.
Gimme.
So I'm going to show you how that unfolded. And he just was remarkable in all the wrong ways. Before I dive into that, I want to encourage you, if you like this video, when you get to the end of it, click on that thumbs up. That helps us a lot with the YouTube algorithms. And also, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to this channel. We cover great scams, but we also give you a ton of information about how to find legitimate remote jobs. We cover everything from start to finish that you will need to find them, interview for them, apply for them, land them. So just click on that subscribe button below. And when you do, hit the little bell icon, and that will help you get notifications every time we upload new content. So let me show you how this thing started and unfolded. I received an email from one of our Rat Race Rebellion followers telling me that he had received information from somebody at Accenture, or a scammer pretending to be from Accenture. And I asked him to forward me the details. And so in the information that he sent me was what I was looking for. It was the offer letter that he had received from this person, supposedly at Accenture. Now, if you don't recognize the name Accenture, they are huge. They are a Fortune Global 500 company, and they specialize in IT. So very big company, very well known, and which is why the scammer is using their name, because they know that when they reach out to somebody, if they're using a reputable company's name, they're more likely to be able to bamboozle people. So anyway, I grabbed the email address from an email that he had been forwarded by the scammer, and I grabbed those documents and sent this email off to the scammer. Now, bear in mind, they have no idea who I am. They have never been in contact with me. They have no record of me. But still, I sent this email to them. My sincere apologies for the delayed response. My computer crashed, and I was finally able to recover my email in pieces. Attached, please find my signed offer letter. I know you already have it, but because some time has passed, I'm also resending my application. Please advise as to the next steps. Without missing a beat, and I did, I sent along these items, just so you can get a look at them. This is their offer letter, and you can see they're using the Accenture logo at the top, and they're offering full or part-time. They're making me an offer for full or part-time, or they were making him an offer, and $30 an hour, and just going through all of the basic information here. And then, of course, they had the job application, which I filled out with a bunch of bogus information. And just to throw in a few doozies in here, I said, no college, made up a school. And I didn't go to college, by the way, so that's not a lie. And let me see, they asked if I'd ever been convicted of a felony. So I said, yes, embezzlement, because no company is going to want to hire me to work remotely, if not just because of a felony. I made sure I put one in there that would be a real turnoff for a real company, and that's embezzlement. stealing money from a company. Okay? They didn't flinch. I immediately got this email back that said, "Hello, it's great to hear from you again."
Every pony wants to hear from you.
Again, remember, they have never even heard of me, but he's just picking up the thread that I dropped for him. You're advised to get in touch with the HR manager on Signal, and then they give me the phone number. But what's really funny is I didn't even have to get in touch with them on Signal, because by the time I got around to doing it, I already had a message from them on Signal. And the conversation that unfolded was pretty funny. Now, I also thought it was funny that the last scammer that I spoke with used the name Maury. This one is using the name Murray Brown. Now, I did dig into it, and Murray Brown actually is somebody who's in the talent acquisition department for Accenture. So they chose this name very carefully. They chose it so that if I went online, or if somebody they're trying to scam goes online looking for Murray Brown plus Accenture, they're going to find that there is a Murray Brown working in the right department at the company they're claiming to be from. So this scammer has done their homework. Although I will say they're using a Hotmail email address. So they didn't jump through a lot of hoops to try to look legitimate, but sometimes people don't think to check the email addresses or don't question them. But that's definitely the first red flag, that they're sending you an email from, purportedly from Accenture through Hotmail. Nah, that doesn't cut the mustard. So anyway, as I said, they reached out to me, even though I had been directed to reach out to them. And I'm sure it's the same person, because no sooner did they send this email than this popped up on Signal. So they say, "Hello, Christine," and we go through the first formalities, and they weren't there immediately when I jumped on Signal, so I'm questioning them. "Are you there?" They say, "Yes, I'm here." And then I ask them what the next steps are. And this person says, "I'm Murray Brown, HR manager. I will put you through the next steps." They're going to put me through it. Sounds like torture. "Thank you. Since I received the offer letter, I believe I already have the job. Is that correct?" Just wanted to confirm that I've been offered this job. "Yes, correct. I'll be explaining what the company and position entails. You'll have to pay attention, and there'll be room to take your questions. Okay?" Okay. He goes through and gives me the job benefits, to which I just respond, okay. Goes through and explains the offer bonus, the employment bonuses. And that's fine. And I just say, understood. And then he starts cutting to the chase. "All right. I need you to provide me with the following details: driver's license, front and back, and phone number." I've spoken about this in other videos. Excuse my broken up phone. This thing has been dropped so many times, and I'm cheap. I don't replace things if they still work. So one of the reasons that they ask for driver's license is they can sell these on the dark web. Sometimes they're sold to people who are in the US and are trying to get an identity. Sometimes they're people who, usually they're people who are here illegally, but sometimes they're people who have lost their driver's license because of driving infractions. So anyway, they can resell that, and they can also use it if they're trying to open up accounts, like credit card accounts, in your name. All right. So never a good idea to send front and back of a driver's license. But I did send them one, and it's my fake ID that I created for Massachusetts, a state that I don't live in. But because these folks are almost always overseas, they don't recognize it as not being a valid license for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. It's just something that I threw together for them. So I send him that, and he says, "Got it. Do you have an active ID.me account that I can use for the background check?" I say, "No, I don't." And he says, "Okay." And then I think, I want to know what he's trying to accomplish here. So I backpedal a little bit and say, actually, maybe I did set one up through the IRS website. He says, all right, I need you to provide me with the following details: your ID.me, email, and password. Everything he needs to access my ID.me account, which has a bunch of information that somebody would need if they're trying to steal my identity. So I say to him, no, they tell you right on the ID website never to share your password. And he says, we will be using that to synchronize the information with our online portal to complete the verification on our end. I say, sorry, but it's still a big no from me, dog. There must be another way to do this because I'm not giving you that password. To which he responds, all right. Will you be able to do the verification on your end without having to send the sign-in information? I say, sure. What does that involve? I mean, I already verified all of my information when I sent it to you. Do you think I'm a liar? He says, no. Okay. I say, what do you need from me? And he says, it's all right. I say, what should I do next? He says, I will provide you with a verification link right now. All you need to do is sign into your IRS account, enter the link in another tab on the same browser. A verification code will be given to you. You should send me a screenshot of that. Now, the link that he sent me, and you can see that right there on the screen, is actually a link where you're requesting a PIN. You're requesting a PIN for your IRS account. And with that PIN, you can gain access to the account. And you should never share this, of course. We know that. But he thinks we don't know that. So he's asking me to do that. And I recognize the URL right away for what it is. And I say to him, I don't need to request a new PIN. I already have one. And he says, all right, that's great. So I say, okay, well, I'm logged in. What do you want me to do? He said, you should send me a screenshot of the page. I say, a screenshot of the IRS page? Yes, the homepage for confirmation. So I quickly jumped online, just searched for IRS online portal images and pulled down an image of an account where somebody owed $47,000. And then I said to him, it seems like an awful lot of information. And he says, no, it's not. Like, that's all I need to comfort my mind. No, it's not. Okay, Murray. He said, we can proceed to the next step now. I said, it's not a lot of information. It seems like it. What's the next step? He said, just to know you complete the necessary verification process. I guess that's the next step, just to know that I've completed it. So I said, I did everything you told me to do. Does that mean we're done? And he says, yes. The next step, he hasn't gotten anything from me at this point. So he's going to keep trying different things, all right? Yes, the next step in the process is to fix a payment plan with the finance department and have the payment strictly for the equipment sent over to your account. I say, okay, I'm ready when you are. Will you wire the money to me, or how will that arrive? I'm assuming I need to pay the equipment vendors with that funding. He says, all right. And then he tells me what he needs. All you need to provide. Love the way he says, all you need to provide as though it's no big deal. Name of your financial institution. Name on the account number, the routing number, my user ID, and password. All right. Everything he needs to access my bank account. So if I give him the bank name, he knows that he just needs to go. Let's say it's Bank of America. So he goes to bankofamerica.com, clicks on login, puts in my user ID and password, and has full access to my bank account. So now, I mean, he's asked for my driver's license. He's asked for my ID.me access information. He's asked to basically to get a PIN number to my IRS account, my online IRS portal. And now he's trying to get access to my bank account. All right. And then he tells me when the funds are available, you'll be able to make your purchase, tells me all the equipment I'm supposed to get. If you've watched other scam videos on our channel, you already know what an equipment scam looks like. And ultimately, he's going to try to pull that one off too. It's not enough. He's trying to steal my identity, my finances, everything. He also wants to rake me over the coals by ultimately sending me a fake check that's going to bounce and having me wire them money. Okay. So not going to get into a lot of depth about what the equipment scams look like. You can find videos about that right here on our channel. So I say to him, are you crazy?
Are you crazy?
The kind of information that you're asking me for is unrealistic. This is starting to sound like a scam. How do I know I can trust you? And he says, the information's, okay, if we're looking for another way that we know that this guy's a scammer, I mean, beyond the Hotmail address and the interview through Signal, and all of the unrealistic expectations, the information's, bad English, will be required to do an ACH. I understand that you're concerned about your online banking credentials, while we are also concerned about our organization reputation and ratings, which we so much want to protect. Your information stays safe, and all authorizations have to come from you before payment will be processed. Okay, if you say so, Murray. And I say, you would not require my user ID and password to send an ACH. You've lost my trust. And he said, well, your information is secure, and I assure you, you have nothing to worry, as the finance department would only be needing it scheduled an electronic payment into your account and monitor your funds once it's available in your account. Okay? BS. Just so much BS. He says, our payments are made manually via ACH. The transfer required our account linked with yours manually. And right after it's linked, the payment is transferred. We won't be able to proceed further without the required information. I said, why do you need my password to do that? I'm calling bullshit, Maury. And he says, no, it's not. Try to understand. Okay. I say, I understand. I understand that you are a scammer. I also understand that I am not a victim. You try to understand that not everybody is going to fall for this stupid crap that you're putting out there. Scammers are the lowest form of criminals. I hope you take that personally. Try to understand you are not as smart as you think you are. So he copies and pastes in the same thing he sent previously. Our payments are made manually, blah, blah, blah. And I say, oh, now I understand. I'm like, this guy's not going to let go. So I'm going to let him think that he just won me over by pasting that same comment in there again. Oh, now I understand. So what do you need from me again? My account number. So I just need to send my account number, routing number, user ID, and password. So I send my user ID. Bigfoot is real, because that's as believable as what you're feeding me here, Murray. And the password, as you can see on the screen, is courtesy flush number 2. And then I make up a routing number and an account number. And I say, do you need anything else? And he says, that's all needed now to proceed. Are you available now to give an authorization code? Because he knows that if he tries to log on to my bank account, it's very likely that I'm going to get a 2-factor authentication either coming to me through email or through a text message. So I say, sure, for what? And then he asks me for the name of the financial institution because I left that information off. So I toss Wells Fargo out there. It's not where I do my banking, but I knew he'd recognize the name because it's a big bank. He says, all right. And then he sends me a copy and paste of what he had already sent me before. The next step in the process is to fix your payment plan, blah, blah. One of the funny things about these overseas scammers is English is not their first language. And so a lot of times they're working from a script and all they have to do is copy and paste things in to their communication. And they think that makes them sound smarter. But you'll see this in a lot of these conversations. They'll keep repeating themselves. And it's because I'm trying to get them to go off script and they're not comfortable doing that a lot of times. So anyway, I confirm that I'm here and he says, that's great, remain active. And then he sends me a screenshot that says, your user ID and password cannot be recognized. So I respond, well, of course it's not recognized. I made it up, just like you made up this job. I figured if you were going to lie to me, I would lie to you. Isn't that the way things are supposed to work? And he says, you're getting things wrong. And I said, I give you points for tenacity, but they don't balance out what I had to subtract for intelligence. He says, okay, we won't proceed further. To which I respond, just have one more piece of advice for you before I let you go. Don't be ashamed of who you are. That's your parents' job. But take heart. If genius skips a generation, your children will be brilliant. Bye. And that was the end of the conversation with this scammer. He's just messy. But I wanted to do a video on this so that you could see the variety of ways this guy is trying to get information from his victims. He had a fallback plan for every single thing. The ID.me would have been the crown jewel for him, because when you're applying for that or when you're signing up for your ID.me verification, you're putting in a lot of information that's critical to prove that you are who you are, but it's also critical to scammers who are trying to steal everything from you. But between the driver's license, the ID.me, the attempt to access my IRS account through a PIN, just everything, and then trying to get access to my bank account, he stopped at nothing. So just be so careful out there. He made all kinds of requests that employers are not going to make. All right. Doesn't matter if they're using the name of a big company. All right. That's it. If you have any questions or comments, drop them into the comment section below. We do try to respond to those in a timely manner. As always, again, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. I promise you'll get lots of great information. And if you're looking for a legitimate home-based job, then I encourage you to run over to the ratracerebellion.com website, where we post screened work-from-home jobs Monday through Friday every week. While you're there, look in the upper right-hand corner of any page, and you'll find an opportunity to subscribe to our email newsletter, which also comes out Monday through Friday. And you'll get a lot of great information in there. In addition to pointing you toward our most current posts, it's also going to give you some other information and details that will help you in your job search. That's it. Be safe out there. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.